They laughed at Earth. They said humans were loud, divided, and weak. But they stopped laughing the day the stars above their empire went dark. For years, the Galactic Council treated humanity like a small problem, a species that argued among itself, a world that could barely manage its own conflicts. Alien empires controlled trade routes, warp gates, and military patrol zones. Earth had none of those advantages, so the Council ignored them. What they did not see were the empty sectors beyond the outer asteroid belts. Regions too far and too cold for normal travel. Regions where no alien patrol ever bothered to scan. Deep in those silent zones, Earth was building. Massive construction platforms floated between broken moons. Thousands of human workers moved in careful coordination. Giant metal frames stretched for miles, slowly forming shapes that did not look like normal battleships. They were too large, too wide, too structured. These are not simple warships. They were carriers, star-crossing carriers, designed to travel without warp gates, designed to cross entire systems on their own, designed to carry fleets inside them. Inside one of the largest shipyards, Admiral Jonas Reyes stood on an observation deck. He looked through reinforced glass at the massive hull below. The first carrier was almost complete. Its deck stretched like a floating city. Multiple launch platforms lined its surface. Heavy cannons were hidden beneath armored layers. Engine cores glowed deep blue inside the rear structure. This ship was named Horizon. It was not built for attack. It was built so humanity would never beg again. While the galaxy focused on border disputes and trade wars, Earth had spent decades preparing for a future where no one would protect them. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, alien representatives discussed a minor human request. Earth had asked for equal access to a neutral trade corridor. The Council refused. Humans were not strong enough to demand space rights. A tall, silver-skinned delegate laughed softly. They will learn their place soon. Far away from that chamber, Horizon powered up its main core for the first time. Deep vibrations moved through the shipyard. Workers stepped back as energy flowed into the carrier. Admiral Reyes gave a simple order. Begin star crossing test. Engine rings behind the carrier ignited. Blue light expanded outward. Not like a warp jump, not like a gate. Space itself bent around the carrier. For a moment, Horizon vanished. In a distant, unmonitored system, alien mining ships suddenly detected a shadow blocking starlight. They scanned again. Their instruments malfunctioned. Before them floated a structure larger than any known warship. Its deck filled with smaller fighters. Its weapons powered but not aimed. The miners sent a panic signal. Unknown superstructure detected. Classification impossible. Within minutes, military scouts from a nearby alien empire arrived. They circled the massive ship. Their scanners tried to measure its length. The result shocked them. Over 6 kilometers, and still increasing as external modules unfolded. Then the carrier transmitted a simple message. This is United Earth Carrier Horizon. We travel peacefully, but we will not be ignored. Back in the council chamber, alarms interrupted the meeting. Multiple scout reports. Unknown human megastructure. The silver delegate who had laughed earlier went silent. More signals arrived. Another carrier leaving outer orbit of Earth. And another. The stars above several systems dimmed briefly as massive shapes crossed space without gates. Humanity had not asked permission. They had built their own path between the stars. And as the first alien fleet moved to intercept Horizon, they realized something uncomfortable. Earth was no longer a minor species. Earth had been preparing, and the galaxy was not ready. The galaxy did not sleep after the first carrier appeared. Panic moved faster than light through council networks. Every empire demanded updated scans. Every fleet commander requested confirmation. Humanity had built something impossible. In the mining system, where Horizon now floated, alien patrol ships kept a careful distance. Their weapons were charged, but they did not fire. The carrier did not attack. It did not threaten. It simply moved forward slowly, blocking half the star with its massive hull. Inside Horizon, thousands of crew members worked in silence. Flight officers monitored surrounding fleets. Fighter pilots waited inside launch bays. Engineers kept the core stable as space folded gently around the carrier. Admiral Reyes stood in the command center. Large tactical screens showed multiple alien fleets gathering. He knew this moment would come. Earth had predicted it. When a galaxy saw power, they would react with fear. Back at the Galactic Council chamber, emergency session was declared. Leaders who once mocked Earth now argued loudly. Some demanded immediate strike. Others warned that attacking without understanding the carrier could lead to disaster. An elderly reptilian commander spoke quietly. If humans built one, they built more. His words chilled the chamber. Far from the council, in another hidden sector, a second carrier powered up. This one named Vanguard. Its construction platforms detached slowly. Giant armored panels locked into place. Its main engines ignited. Around it, dozens of escort ships aligned in formation. Human fleets that had remained hidden for decades were now revealing themselves. Earth was not defending with one giant ship. It was unveiling a strategy. In a mining system, alien warships finally approached Horizon. Their formation tight. Their weapons aimed. A broadcast came from the lead alien cruiser. Withdraw immediately. This region is under Imperial authority. Horizon did not turn, did not retreat. Instead, its surface shifted. Sections of the deck opened. Rows of human fighters rose slowly. Hundreds of them, but none launched. The carrier transmitted calmly. United Earth respects all lawful borders, but we will cross stars freely. As you do, the alien commander hesitated. Their scan still could not fully map the carrier structure. Energy readings were off the scale. Shield signatures layered in ways they had never seen. Inside the council chamber, a new report arrived. 2 more human carriers detected leaving Sol system. Trajectory unknown. Silence filled the room. Earth had built an entire class of star-crossing war carriers. Not prototypes. Not experiments. A fleet. In deep space between systems, Horizon engines glowed brighter. Space distorted gently around its hull. Without using gates. Without using shared routes. It moved, passing directly through the monitored trade lane. Every sensor across nearby systems recorded the event. Humans had just proven they did not need galactic infrastructure. They had removed dependence, and that terrified everyone. Back on Earth, crowds watched live feeds. Not cheering, not celebrating, only watching. They understood the risk. If the galaxy attacked, war would begin on a scale never seen. But if Earth did nothing, they would always remain small. In the alien fleet surrounding Horizon, tension grew. Weapons remained locked. One nervous pilot fired a single warning pulse. The beam struck the outer shield. For a moment, bright light covered the carrier. When it faded, the shield remained untouched. Then something unexpected happened. Horizon targeted the alien cruiser, not with weapons, but with a gravity field. The cruiser froze in place, unable to move, unable to fire. The carrier spoke again. We did not come for war, but we are ready for it. The message was sent to every open channel in the region, and far away in the shadows of unclaimed space. A massive third carrier completed its final assembly. Its name illuminated across its hull. Sovereign. And when its engines began to glow, even the bravest alien admirals realized this was only the beginning. The silence after the gravity lock was heavier than any explosion. The alien cruiser remained frozen in space, its engines unable to respond, its weapons locked by a force it did not understand. Around it, the rest of the fleet pulled back slightly. Confusion spread through their ranks. Horizon did not advance. It did not fire. It simply held position like a wall between stars. Inside the carrier, Admiral Reyes watched carefully. He knew one wrong move could ignite a galactic war. Humanity had revealed its strength. But strength alone was not the message. The message was independence. In the Galactic Council chamber, fear turned into urgency. Emergency fleets were ordered to move. Border patrols doubled. Long-range sensors focused on human space. Reports kept coming. Vanguard had completed its first star crossing. It appeared near a disputed sector where two alien empires had been fighting for decades. Instead of attacking either side, the human carrier positioned itself directly between them. Its shields expanded, forming a barrier that blocked both fleets from firing. Both empires were forced to retreat. Humanity had not chosen a side. It had chosen control. Back near the mining system, Horizon released the alien cruiser. Engines slowly returned. Weapons systems reset. The cruiser commander transmitted again. His voice no longer confident. What does Earth want? The reply came steady. Equal access. Equal respect. No more dismissal. Far beyond a main trade, lanes a third carrier sovereign completed its first jump. It did not appear near a border. It appeared near an old abandoned war zone. Wreckage of ancient battles floated around dead stars. A reminder of past galactic conflicts. Sovereign began deploying reconstruction drones, clearing debris, restoring navigation paths. The galaxy watched in confusion. Humans were not conquering. They were reshaping space. Inside alien intelligence networks, analysts struggled to understand Earth's strategy. Why build such massive carriers, if not to dominate? Hidden human archives held the answer. Earth history was filled with invasions, wars, and near-extinction events. Humans had learned one lesson clearly. If you are weak, you are controlled. So they built carriers not just as weapons, but as moving cities, self-sufficient fortresses, capable of defending colonies without relying on alien gates or trade networks. Each carrier held farms, factories, medical centers, fighter wings, and long-range shield arrays. They were not fleets. They were sovereign worlds. As Horizon continued crossing systems, more alien scouts followed from distance. None dared attack. Rumors began spreading. Human carriers are indestructible. Human shields cannot be broken. Human engines bend space without gates. Fear became respect. But not everyone felt threatened. In deep, unexplored space, an ancient signal activated. Something older than the Galactic Council. Older than modern empires. It detected the same spatial distortion pattern created by human star crossing drives. A pattern once used by a forgotten civilization. Inside a dark region of space, unknown vessels powered on. Silent. Watching. Back in the council chamber, a final vote was held. Should the galaxy declare humanity a rising power or a threat? The debate ended when new data arrived. For more human carriers under construction, production increasing. Earth was not stopping. Horizon received one final transmission from a council. Humanity will be recognized as equal member. Travel rights granted. Trade corridors open. Admiral Reyes listened carefully. It was not surrender, but it was acknowledgement. As Horizon engines glowed once more and prepared another star crossing, the Admiral looked at the stars ahead. Humanity had forced respect without firing a single destructive shot. But he knew something deeper. When you change the balance of power, something always reacts, and far beyond the edges of mapped space. The unknown vessels began moving toward human territory, drawn by the return of star-crossing technology. The galaxy had given humanity recognition, but recognition did not bring peace. In deep space beyond mapped borders, the unknown vessels moved silently. They did not use warp gates. They did not use common engines. They folded space in a way that felt ancient. Alien observatories detected strange distortions. Signals that did not match human carriers. Signals that felt older. Far away from Sol System, Horizon received the first warning. Unidentified spatial fracture detected. Admiral Reyes studied the data. The pattern looked similar to human star crossing drives, but it was stronger, more stable, more controlled. Vanguard and Sovereign were ordered to reposition. Human carriers formed a wide defensive arc across outer colonies. Earth did not panic publicly, but private military channels activated full alert. Inside the Galactic Council, fear returned. They had only just adjusted to human power. Now something else was arriving. An old historian within the council spoke quietly. This pattern existed once before our recorded history. He accessed ancient forbidden archives, stories of a civilization that controlled star-crossing technology, a civilization that vanished after building massive guardian fleets. The data ended abruptly. No survivors, no explanation, only one repeated word: harvest. Back in human space, the first unknown vessel appeared near an uninhabited system. It was not shaped like normal ships. It looked smooth and curved, almost organic. No weapons visible, no lights, only a dark surface that absorbed starlight. Horizon approached carefully, its shields active, fighters ready. The unknown vessel did not transmit. Instead, it scanned. Long silent beams of energy passed over the carrier. Inside Horizon systems flickered for a moment, not failing, but reacting. Admiral Reyes felt unease. This was not a test of strength. This was evaluation. Then the unknown ship transmitted a single message: star-crossing technology unauthorized. Cycle must continue. Before Horizon could respond, the vessel moved, not retreating, but advancing toward a nearby human colony. Vanguard intercepted, positioning itself between the unknown ship and the colony. The human carrier powered its gravity shields to maximum. The unknown vessel stopped. For a moment, nothing happened. Then space bent violently. The vessel released a pulse. Not a weapon, but something deeper. In a distant human research station, every power grid shut down. Satellites failed. Navigation systems froze. It was not destruction. It was reset. Admiral Reyes understood. This force did not conquer. It erased advancement. Every time a species grew too strong, it intervened. The ancient civilization from the archives. They had not vanished. They had been harvested. Earth carriers were the first in centuries to challenge the pattern. Horizon engines ignited brighter than ever before. Human carriers aligned in triangular formation. Instead of attacking, they synchronized. Space around them began to resonate. Human drives adapting, learning, countering the unknown distortion. The alien councils watched in fear. They realized something chilling. The galaxy had survived safely for centuries because no one advanced far enough. Humanity had crossed that line. The unknown vessel transmitted again. Technology must regress. Admiral Reyes responded calmly. Humanity does not regress. Sovereign moved behind the unknown vessel, forming a containment ring. For the first time, the dark ship hesitated. It had faced advanced empires before. It had erased them, but had never faced multiple mobile fortresses with independent star-crossing engines. Inside, human carriers' engineers pushed systems beyond safe limits. Energy surged. Shields flared. The battle had not started, but the test had. And as the unknown vessel began charging a second pulse, Admiral Reyes gave the order: engage adaptive counterfield. The stars around them flickered, and the future of every advanced civilization now depended on whether humanity could resist the cycle that had ended countless others. Space trembled as the adaptive counterfield activated. Horizon Vanguard and Sovereign pulsed with synchronized energy. Their star-crossing cores linked through encrypted quantum channels. Human engineers watched numbers climb beyond every safe limit. The unknown vessel released its second pulse. A wave of silent distortion expanded outward. Stars flickered. Nearby asteroids cracked under invisible pressure. But this time the pulse did not pass freely. The human counterfield met it. Space bent between them. Two forces pushing against each other without sound. Inside Horizon, alarms flashed. Temperature levels rising. Shield harmonics fluctuating. Admiral Reyes stood steady. Hold formation. Vanguard adjusted its angle. Sovereign amplified its gravity matrix. Together they formed a layered wall. The distortion wave slowed, then split, redirected into empty space. For the first time, the unknown vessel reacted visibly. Its dark surface rippled. Energy patterns shifted across its hull. It transmitted again. Anomaly detected. Resistance unexpected. Far away galactic observers watched in disbelief. No civilization had ever resisted a reset pulse. Records showed entire star systems reduced to silence within minutes. Humanity was still standing. The unknown vessel began charging a third pulse, stronger than the others. Deep inside human archives, an old project, long classified, was unlocked. Project Anchor, a failsafe designed decades earlier when Earth first began developing star-crossing engines. Engineers had always feared that space itself might reject their progress. So they built a contingency. On a hidden moon near Sol, a massive structure powered on. Not a carrier, not a ship, a planetary-scale stabilizer. It locked onto the three carriers and reinforced their field. Space around the formation hardened. Like invisible armor. The third pulse struck. This time the impact shook every carrier violently. Lights flickered. Crew members braced themselves. For a moment, it seemed the field would collapse. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of only resisting, the adaptive counterfield learned. Human drives absorbed fragments of the distortion pattern, analyzing it in real time. Within seconds, the carriers adjusted frequency. The unknown pulse began to weaken. Inside the dark vessel, energy levels spiked dangerously. Its systems encountering resistance they had never processed. It attempted to withdraw. Sovereign blocked its path. Vanguard increased gravity pressure. Horizon transmitted one clear message. Cycle terminated. The words echoed across open space. For the first time, the unknown vessel responded not with command, but with hesitation. Analysis incomplete. Human advancement variable unstable. It attempted one final maneuver, compressing space around itself. But the combined human field locked it in place. Not destroyed, contained. Deep within the vessel, ancient programming struggled to adapt. Its mission was simple: prevent civilizations from surpassing certain thresholds. Yet humanity had not sought conquest. They had sought independence. That variable did not fit its calculations. After long seconds, the vessel transmitted one last message. Cycle suspended. Observation mode engaged. Slowly, its energy output decreased. Distortion waves faded. Human carriers maintained formation until reading stabilized. The dark vessel retreated gradually into deep space. Not defeated, but changed. Across the galaxy, silence followed. Alien councils realized something historic had happened. The reset cycle that had silently shaped history was broken. Not by ancient empires, not by lost civilizations, but by a species once mocked for being divided. Inside Horizon Command Center, Admiral Reyes finally exhaled. This was not victory. It was survival. And as human carriers powered down from combat levels, a new message spread across galactic networks. Humanity has altered the cycle. For the first time, the future would not be decided by fear, but by those willing to stand against extinction itself. The galaxy did not celebrate. It watched. The dark vessel had retreated, but it had not been destroyed. Its presence still lingered in deep space like a shadow behind the stars. Human carriers remained in formation for several hours, their shields slowly lowering, their engines cooling after the strain. Inside Horizon, Admiral Reyes looked at the final battle data. The adaptive counterfield had rewritten itself during the conflict. Human star-crossing technology was no longer experimental. It had evolved. Across alien territories, something changed. Old fear that had once controlled expansion began to fade. For centuries, civilizations had grown slowly, carefully, never crossing invisible limits. They had not known why, only that advanced empires disappeared without warning. Now they understood, and they had seen someone stand against it. On Earth, global networks transmitted a quiet message. Cycle suspended. Humanity secure. Crowds did not cheer wildly. They stood in silence, understanding how close extinction had come. In the Galactic Council chamber, alien leaders faced a new reality. Human carriers were not conquerors. They were protectors. But protection came with influence. A delegation requested immediate alliance talks with Earth. Others asked for shared star-crossing research. For the first time in galactic history, humanity was not asking for recognition. It was being offered leadership. Far beyond mapped space, the unknown vessel drifted among dark regions. Its internal systems processing new variables. Human resistance successful. Adaptive evolution rapid. Risk of direct harvest unacceptable. A new directive began forming inside its ancient code. Observe. Wait. Adapt. It had not faced a species like this before. One that learned during the battle. One that refused regression. Back near Sol system, the hidden stabilizer moon powered down slowly. Its massive rings dimming. Project Anchor had served its purpose. Human engineers began upgrading every carrier using data gathered from the encounter. Counter-reset matrices, distortion-resistant shields, expanded gravity fields. Humanity would not be surprised again. Admiral Reyes addressed the fleet commanders through secure channel. We built these carriers so no one could decide our future. Today we proved it. But remember this. Power invites attention. In the distance, new signals appeared. Not hostile, not aggressive. Small independent species reaching out, asking for protection agreements, trade partnerships, joint exploration. Human carriers began traveling again, not as threats, but as guardians of open space. Vanguard escorted a medical convoy to a distant colony. Sovereign cleared debris from unstable sectors. Horizon positioned itself near major trade routes. The galaxy slowly adjusted to a new balance. Fear of the reset faded. Fear of humanity transformed into respect. But deep within classified human archives, one final alert remained active. If the dark vessel ever returned with greater force, Earth would respond faster. Because humanity had crossed a line and survived. One night on Earth, a child looked up at the sky, watching a bright streak as a carrier crossed between stars. To the galaxy, it was a symbol of power. To humanity, it was something simpler, proof that they would never kneel again. And far in deep space, the unknown vessel continued observing, studying, waiting, because for the first time in endless cycles, the outcome was no longer certain.